Robinson Crusoe. This is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe. Today we'll be going over Robinson Crusoe and how it plays with 2 players. Now Robinson Crusoe is a 1 to 4 player cooperative game where you will be going through a scenario. There are 6 scenarios that come in this box, and you are dropped off on this desert island and you have to survive. Most of the time you need to go about 12 rounds for the certain scenario. Some are a little bit shorter, some are longer, but you will be trying to make camp and deal with the harsh realities of the island that you live on. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So in Robinson Crusoe, as I said, you're going to pick a scenario. That scenario may have just a set of rules that you need to follow. It's going to tell you what some of the icons are as you flip over tiles, as you go through and get some of these discovery tokens. But essentially, you are going to be adventurers, 2 to 4 adventurers. If you have 2, you're going to have an extra person named Friday. And then you can also have a dog if you want to make the game easier. But you're going to pick these different kind of castaways, if you will: the cook, the carpenter, the soldier, and explorer. Each of these has a little bit different flair to them, a little bit different health on the bottom, and they can use their determination tokens a little bit different, which you will be getting throughout the game. But you are going to be starting on this island, and you'll have to explore. And everybody is going to start off with their 2 pawns. And during the action phase, you're going to put these pawns out there on these various actions. You can explore, you can build items, you can build the shelter, you can hunt, you can do some of the events. But you're going to put one of your tokens out there. Now, if you put a single token on the board, you will have to roll some dice, and these dice may be, you may see if you succeed or not on there. You may see if you lose a heart, or you may have to put an event in the future event pile, or you can guarantee the action by putting 2 on there. But you are limiting yourself on kind of the actions you do that way, because everybody's only going to get 2 pawns. So with 2 players, you can both control 2, or you can both control 1 player each, with Friday, as I said before. But on these different island tiles, you can explore and gather for food, for wood. You can hunt, which you will flip over a card, and hopefully you have enough weapons to take care of it. You can build your different items, which give you upgrades, which give you more food, which can give you more shelter. There's just a lot of things to do on the island as far as build, gather, and explore, and then hunt, all while trying to keep the end game scenario in mind. Then there's other phases during the game. There's the weather phase, which you need to make sure you have enough shelter on your head. That will also, the more weather there shows up, the more you may lose health as a group, depending on how much roof level you have. There's going to be different environmental effects where you're going to lose some health. You're going to have the events that you just don't know what's actually going to happen, come out throughout the game. And then at the end of the phase, you do have to go through a night phase where you do have to feed every person 1 food, or they will lose a health. So that's kind of the overview of the game. Each of the scenarios plays vastly differently, but you're going to land, move your camp, explore. And so the scenarios are different, but the premise is going to be the same for each one of those as far as the actions that you can take. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. Just talk about the components, rules, and references. The components I do like about this game. There's the tiles, there's the cards, the tokens. Everything looks really thematic. I really like just the feel of this game components-wise. Nothing outstanding, but it does everything really well. Then there is the rules and references. So I do have the version by Z-Man Games. I've had this version for quite a while. And the rules are, they're a little bit outdated for what they are. I really could use an overview of the flow of it. They give you these references on the board, but you do forget a few things. It doesn't answer all the rules itself. However, it is pretty straightforward game as far as what happens. You're going to do this, 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 this. You're going to roll these dice. You're going to do this. So I don't mind them. It's just not as straightforward as maybe some of the more modern games, and the references I think could use a little bit, especially in the version that I have. Let's talk about setup and table size. Setup, I've played this game multiple times, and we just got this back to the table, and it really didn't take as long as I remember. It took about 10 minutes to get this to the table with my wife and I, and we had a pretty good time with it. The table size itself, it does take up a decent amount of table, but it's nice and thematic. I would say it probably takes about a 3x4 table space with about that 10-minute setup time. So let's talk about the gameplay. And the gameplay is going to be tough. I will say this survival game is very hard. It's very punishing. And I say that you have these for sure actions that you can do, and that's going to be the tough part of the game. And the most fun part of the game will be, how do you decide which actions you're going to do? Do you just put one token on there and kind of spread out the people you control, or do you do a for sure action and put both pawns down? Put both pawns down, you get that for sure action, but you are going to limit yourself, because you do have to feed each person, and say each action that you put down gives you a food per se. That is all your actions for the turn, but then you're going to do nothing else. You're not going to be able to explore. You're not going to be able to uncover tiles or build items or go hunting. And these are things that are going to improve camp. So over time, you may have to roll more dice. And so you really need to be improving camp. These discovery tiles are really neat. You can use them whenever you want to. As you explore these tiles, the furs that you get, and you can improve camp. You can improve your weapons using wood, and it's more fun to be able to do those various actions. Unfortunately, rolling the dice, doing only one pawn per action, you don't always have the success chance, and it does feel bad when you don't get that. It also kind of feels bad when you have to draw an event card, which is not good. And it feels bad when you just lose a health because the dice says so. And when you only put one pawn out there, you do have to roll all 3 dice, and whatever comes up is what you have to do. So it really is punishing, but it makes you spread out. It makes you go through these event decks, which I really do like thematic-wise with it. It's just kind of a tough game, I would say. It's very... You have to play a scenario probably multiple times for you to figure out the paths to victory. Do I need to build a shelter on turn 1 or 2? Or can I move camp a few times to get that ideal spot? Versus, what kind of events are going to come up? I need to keep the morale up, because there's the morale phase where you can get determination tokens. How can I best use those determination tokens on the cards? Are there a lingering effect, a lingering event that's going to happen soon that I need to take care of? There's a lot of questions in the game, and it was really fun determining which actions I'm going to do for the turn and where we need to focus. So the action selection is the most fun part about this game, but the randomness of the dice, this does kind of feel bad whether you get to do the action or not. So kind of a trade-off as far as the gameplay is concerned. So is this game good for 2? And I do like this game for 2. I would say there can be an alpha player. I can play this 1 just as easily as 2, but it's fun to play it at 2 and say, hey, why don't we do this? You can talk about it with somebody. So I'd say the difference between 1 and 2 is very small. You can play with 1 character apiece with that Friday kind of character, and I don't believe he eats. We didn't play with Friday. We did do 2 characters apiece, so we were able to have the full gambit of actions and the different determination things we can use for all the characters. All the characters do have different kind of life and have different items that come out. So that's kind of the way to play. If I'm going to play 2 players, we're going to play 2 characters each. That gives us the full experience of the game, gives us control of 2 characters, so we can both do potentially 4 actions, or we could both do for sure 2 actions on the turn. So I really like this game at using all 4 characters with 2 people. Now, as far as the game itself, maybe not my favorite game we have. It may feel a little bit dated as far as a cooperative. Like I said, it can have that alpha gamer feel to it, but it is very thematic. I love reading these cards and just some of the events that come up. Most of them are pretty bad, so when you get that one, you have to be like, and roll your eyes and think, oh, what's coming at me today? Hopefully when you roll the dice, you do get a success as well. So at least you get something out of it instead of the determination token. So it's kind of like the too many bones. Getting the bones result is how I would equate failing the action, where at least you get a consolidation prize, but it's not quite it's not quite that good. So overall, a decent cooperative game. Worth a try. The 6 scenarios are very different as far as what you're trying to do. You know, everything from castaways to finding some cursed idols and things like that. All a lot of fun. Like I said, there are probably better cooperative games out there, but we have really enjoyed our time with Robinson Crusoe. So a fun cooperative game, but definitely a very brutal and very tough cooperative game. So hope you guys enjoyed the review, and until next time.